Hello everyone and welcome to The Week's End, the show where we round up the week's entertainment highlights and give you the best bits. I'm Tara O'Connell.
And I'm Jessica Fox, and we've got a great lineup of guests for you tonight, so sit back and relax.
Coming up on today's show, we'll be talking to Toby Stevenson about his brand new single, Illusions.
And we'll hear from political experts Hal Williams and Callum Hogg about the latest controversies surrounding Donald Trump's upcoming presidency.
Finally, what can you do to help the homeless and vulnerable this winter? We'll find out later.
And don't forget, you can tweet us throughout the show on @WeeksendBBC. Our first guest is lead singer from the Manchester indie band Violet Disguise.
But now he's launching his own solo career, let's have a look at him in action.
Everyone give a warm welcome to Toby Stevenson.
Hi Toby,
Hi.
Thank you for coming in today. How are you?
You're welcome, I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Good, thank you. So tell us, having a solo career, is that something you've always wanted to do?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, ever since I was in a band, I've always wanted to kind of go off and do my own thing and sort of start a new project.
Yeah.
And can you tell us about your new single?
Yeah, it's called Illusions. Basically, it's an indie alternative song, and it's kind of a lot more chilled out, and there's a softer vibe to it than the stuff I was doing in Violet Disguise.
And is this the first time you've wrote your own music, or?
Well, I used to write tracks for Violet Disguise, but this is the first sort of single I've done on my own without help from other band members, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
And the big question, is there a story behind the song?
There's not a story, there's kind of, I was reading a book called Illusions, and obviously the song title is Illusions, so there's just basically a link there, and I kind of liked the name, and there's a few words from the book in there, so yeah.
And would you say you've got any advice for young aspiring musicians?
Yeah, just keep writing. Every time you have an idea, just put it down and record your idea, and just
get it all down.
Just get it all down, basically. Yeah.
And where are you playing next? Where can the viewers find you?
Well, I've got a gig. Well, I'm not playing until next year actually, January or February, but it's around Manchester, so.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That'd be lovely.
Thanks so much for joining us,
Thanks
Toby.
for having me. Thank you.
And we'll see Toby at the end of the show for an exclusive live performance of his new single.
Now, we've been asking you at home to tweet us about the American presidential election. Let's have a look at what you guys have been saying.
So, our first tweet is from Jack, who tweeted, "Worst president of all time. Already prepared my underground bunker for World War III. Hashtag, see you on the other side."
And we had James tweeting us saying he wishes that Donald Trump will rip his mask off during his inauguration.
And our final tweet is from Megan, who tweeted, "I personally feel that a businessman would bring more experience to help boost the economic relationship between the US and the UK."
Valid point.
Which is a fair point. And thanks for your thoughts, everyone. And don't forget, if you want to get involved in the debate, you can tweet us your thoughts and opinions at Week's End.
Now, many thought it was impossible for Donald Trump to become the next president. However, it turned out to be one of the most shocking presidential results of all time. Earlier this week, I went to speak to Hal Williams from Manchester Metropolitan University about what might happen next.
Hi Tara, my name's Hal Williams. I'm an associate lecturer in American politics at Manchester Metropolitan University. Broadly speaking, my research is on domestic politics, the Democratic Party, and family values rhetoric in American politics.
So, what's the next step in the transition process before Trump gets inaugurated in January?
In American politics, we make a lot of issue about what the president accomplishes in the first 100 days of his presidency. So he'll be working with his advisors to kind of map out the first 100 days, what that looks like, what his legislative goals are. There haven't been signs that it's been the smoothest of processes. I mean, he's taken some unprecedented steps, but that's what you can presume is happening behind the gilded doors at Trump Tower.
Throughout Trump's campaign, he made a lot of controversial promises, such as building a wall between Mexico and America. Do you think he'll follow through with any of them?
I mean, here's the thing about Donald Trump is that his genius came in his ability to promise things that he was never going to be able to deliver on. Will he build a massive wall along the Mexican border? Possibly. Will it accomplish any of the real issues that America needs to address? No. If I were betting, I would say that he's not going to be successful building the wall. But if I were betting a month ago, I would have said that he wasn't going to win the presidency. So,
What effect do you think Donald Trump's presidency will have between the UK and America?
they aren't natural allies, Donald Trump and Theresa May. So I think going forward, the question is less will the two countries continue to work together? I think, of course, that they will. The question is what happens to this kind of residual anger, and if it's offered a home in major political parties. I think that's a real concern in both countries.
Now talking to us about how the Trump presidency will affect us here in the UK is Callum Hogg from Chester University. All right, Callum.
Hi.
So, how does the Trump presidency spell a new kind of special relationship for the US and the UK?
I think the thing is that we don't really know. So Trump has almost no political history apart from coming to the UK and trying to buy bits of land and generally annoying people. So we can kind of imagine how Theresa May might work with him or how he might work with her, but we're just kind of guessing at this point. So if there is a special relationship, it's not going to look anything like the one we're used to.
Yeah. And does that mean the Trump presidency is an unavoidable disaster, or should people just relax?
I think people need to relax a little bit. He's been nominated. He's not the president yet. There's still lots of time for him to decide what's happening. But the way people are talking at the minute, it's like there's been a nuclear bomb already sent off all around the world, and people are talking about bunkers and World War III. The more we joke about stuff like that, the less we're actually going to deal with the issues that are emerging from his presidency and his nomination. So to calm down a little bit, maybe.
And would you say that 2016 was a year for protest voters?
Definitely not. A lot of people are saying this about 2016 being just a protest vote year, and that's what's happened with Brexit and Trump. But to do that takes away all credibility of the people that voted for Trump, the people that voted for Brexit. And a lot of those people voted that way because they felt like they weren't being listened to. So to call it protest voting after they've done it and tried to have a say just makes it even worse. So instead, we should try and engage properly with those people rather than just writing them off as protesters.
Exactly. And throughout his campaign, Donald Trump made so many promises and allegations. Do you think he's going to follow through with any of them?
It's probable that he won't be able to. So there's some stuff that Barack Obama did without the support of people like Congress and the Senate. That's called, well, he did it through his own presidential power. That stuff Donald Trump can just get rid of. So things like Medicare and stuff like that, he can just override. But the bigger promises he's made about the wall and things like that, he'd need Congress's support. And Congress is pretty sensible. Even the Republicans in it, even though they're quite unpopular, are very sensible people. So probably not.
Exactly.
That's great.
lovely,
Thanks,
you.
Callum.
No
Remember,
problem.
we want to hear about what you think at home. So join the discussion online or tweet us at WeekendBBC with the hashtag Trump.
Now, in Manchester alone, homelessness has risen by almost 50% in the last year. Numbers have risen from 64 rough sleepers in 2014 to over 106 in 2016. The city now has more rough sleepers than any city outside of London.
Coffee for Craig is one of many homeless charities that helps people with no roof over their head. Tara went to one of many pop-up soup kitchens to talk to the volunteers about the work they do.
So, can you tell us a bit more about the charity and what you guys do in here?
Okay, so the charity was founded by a lady called Risha Lancaster, and she decided to do something because her brother died on the streets due to solvent abuse and drug abuse. So she started out with a partner, Hendrix, and they used to just go around the streets buying cups of coffee for anybody who was sleeping rough. And then they set up the charity and called it Coffee for Craig in his name. And it's just gone from strength to strength, it's snowballed, and there are now about 80 volunteers.
When did you start and what got you into helping the homeless?
I was walking around Manchester and seeing a lot of homeless people. I felt quite frustrated really, because I was giving them loose change. And I've noticed an increase in the number of homeless people in Manchester, especially over the last few years. And I thought I'd like to do something to help. So I actually saw Coffee for Craig on a TV programme, and I got in touch with them and then became a volunteer. So I think, you know, if people can donate physical items to charities like Coffee for Craig or other homeless charities, then I'm sure that would help.
If you want to get involved and help the people that will desperately need it this Christmas, you can. You can donate or volunteer on the website www.coffeeforcraig.co.uk.
The work that these charities do is truly amazing, and even the smallest of donations can make a massive difference. And that's it from us today, and make sure you tune in again next Sunday, where we'll be talking about X Factor champion Matt Terry.
Now to play us out, we've got Toby performing his brand new single, Illusions. Have a good night everyone, and see you next week.
Two months have passed and I still don't know where have you gone and where have you gone. I've been looking everywhere, just every place in this town to try and find you. And all I saw was the distant shadows on the wall. These different illusions